Here comes the Nastygram.
Welcome back to the Nastygram RPG podcast. This is Empire's End.
Hi, this is Dean. I'm playing Lieutenant Commander Victor Argus, Operations Officer or Ops.
Hey, I'm John, and I play Lieutenant Commander Poro Randar, callsign Metalhead, Commander of the Air Group or CAG.
Hey everybody, I'm Matt. I play Gaius Loctus Vilfug, and I am the Medical and Personnel Officer, or MED.
Hey everyone, this is Dan. I play Lieutenant Junior Grade Nero Orn, Communications and Intelligence Officer, or COIN.
And I'm Josh, and I'll be your Game Master. This is episode 22, Extraction.
Hey everybody, it's Dan, aka your friendly neighborhood Nero Orn, asking for your help. If you like the story we've been weaving, please be sure to drop us a review and help other fellow RPG enthusiasts find us in this galaxy far, far away. And now, on to the recap of episode 21 of our Star Wars story arc, Empire's End on Nastygram. Brother, it's been some time. My nerves may be frayed, but I am still alive here in this small corner of the system. I hear things are changing out there in the galaxy, perhaps as fast as they are changing here. Our old commander arrived on station with an offer to split from the ERC and swear our allegiance to a new leader, Admiral Rorvat, to rebel, as it were. Isn't it funny to become the very thing you've been fighting against? The commander here, his name is Victor Argus. I have thrown my lot in with him. To be clear, I was assigned to this station as part of my deal, but I believe he is the best option I have to survive. The man is not a cog of the Empire, more a warlord they've co-opted into their ranks. He protects his own. I only hope that the men and women around him see that their loyalty should be to the one who earns it, not to the ones that demand it. And even all the way out here, brother, I have found the darker side of commerce, or they have found me. An organization called the Black Jesters have carved out their own little hunting ground here, and I hope to put them on the trail of our enemies, all that would tip the balance of our fragile organization, rebel or imperial. A tool, no matter what its make, can be used effectively, and the Black Jesters, they hope for easy prey. We will let them have it. No matter how small our stake is, we do not want to see all that we have risked for slip through our fingers, so we will fight for it. It's only treason if you lose. See you on the other side, brother.
What were you up to last night?
Sounds like a personal question.
What was the crew of Reiko meeting in the private quarters of the acting CO?
Well,
what crewman had eyebrows raised watching these men file out of Commander Argus's quarters? And is Commander Argus wearing his new rank?
Of course.
Of course.
wow.
Far be it from me.
Wow.
So, you guys had a very decisively eventful meeting last night.
Yep.
When the four of you, along with Captain Cass, basically made the deal, signed the handshake, signed the Declaration of Independence, and
We're the good guys.
Fuck you.
cast
Hell
your
yeah.
lots in your sacred honor with the Jebuic sector.
Yep.
So, sure this can't go poorly.
Nah, I'll be fine.
But we're going to jump to the next day.
ERC.
Whatever fitful. Who thinks they had slept well and who had a little bit of fitful sleep?
Argus slept like a baby.
Yeah. Randar,
Nero
not so much.
slept in a drug-induced coma.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, doctor probably didn't get much sleep. Not so much because of the decision, but probably more prepping for surgery.
Oran's been listening to a lot of Fish lately.
Randar was just watching like gun cam footage basically all night.
Nice.
That's hot.
See how these different personalities have dealt with this decision. But we do have some pressing matters the next day. And that is, first and foremost, the long-awaited surgery on Commander Norwin Hethna. So, Matt, tell me what's your setup here in your battle-repaired med lab? Who do you have there, and what does this look like?
I would say Gaius is definitely there. He's probably going to be having Tila Harper as a second. Probably a couple of droids as well. And it is certainly in the quarantined room in the med bay that Hethna has not left yet. And looking in through one of the observation windows with a familiar box would be Nero.
All right. So maybe, Argus, where do you think you are during this? Are you in the CIC or in your quarters?
During the surgery?
Yeah, I mean, I assume he wouldn't be there, but...
No, probably not at the surgery. He'll be on the CIC doing his job.
Okay. How about Randar?
Randar, after getting very little sleep, he's probably up at the CIC as well. Yeah.
We could even be in the office chatting.
Okay. Yeah, exhausted. Take -1D on all your rolls.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. When people do like cool role-playing stuff, then the GM's like...
Hard penalty.
All right, cool.
Hard mode.
That's not how I saw it, so exhausted.
And actually, just so we don't forget, your Kaleri friend is still he's in one of the recovery rooms in the med lab, so we don't forget. Young Onasi. Mm-hmm. He's well on the mend, but without a functioning back to tank. It just does take a little bit longer for recovery efforts. So, Matt, Lieutenant Harper turns to you. You guys are in, full kind of containment suits. And she says, well, I think we're ready, sir.
We are. You studied last night?
Yes. I couldn't sleep, so I figured what better way to prepare than to look endlessly over the physiology of the brain. Watched videos. I'm as ready as I can be, sir, and I know you'll get this done.
The mic in the operation room clicks on, and you hear Nero over the mic, and he says, "All systems are ready, Doctor."
Excellent. Remember, Nero, this time when I say off, you do as I say.
You see a slight nod through the glass.
She says, okay. Ready to begin.
Excellent.
First incision.
Excellent. We'll cut through the scalp into the periosteum. Take the saw through the skull.
Bzzz. Saw starts buzzing quickly at about 3,000 RPM.
We don't have lasers in Star Wars for this?
No.
Okay. All right. Cool.
Maybe. Yeah, it's a laser.
Maybe, but Reiko, we're
It's
kind
a
of
laser
backwater, so
saw.
a little old school. Okay. That's cool.
We go analog up in this
This
fish.
is Victorian at best.
Little steampunk.
Matt, what direction
Frankenstein.
have you given to Lieutenant Orn about how you want him to start operating with this device?
What outcome is the doctor looking for?
He'll let you know. Depends on how well the surgery goes. Essentially, he wants to have Nero keep the frequency on the low end to suppress both the creature and Hethna in case anything happens if this thing tries to fight, or because we definitely ain't prepared to. I don't have my vibroblade in the operating room. Just a couple.
Just sitting on the.
Josh, Nero will have also his data pad set up next to the machine. And based on that that security check that I had made the previous game, where I had first kind of figured out that the host, or the brain slug, was sending out a signal, I'm going to see if, like, with the data pad, if I can monitor that signal
Okay.
and just have that running concurrently with the machine in front of me too.
Got it. All right. Yeah. So in leading up to this, Doc, you had gotten indications that the activity of the brain slug, its cycle, had seemed to be increasing, almost leading to a culminating point. And so this initial suppression, Dan, why don't you give me we're going to call this a communications check
I like it.
from
I
our
call action stations.
communications and intelligence officer.
Do a drill in the middle of this. We must be prepared for anything.
All right.
He stabs him in the fucking head by accident.
Pretty good.
Damn, Danny.
30.
30. Okay. All right. So you get this dialed in.
Excuse me, 29.
You
Not so
oh,
heroic, as we thought.
He's dead.
So you
Well, I know it's a threshold kind of thing.
you have a channel that's showing the output. It's very, very hard to detect, and you've worked hard to get it dialed in because it's very, very mild.
Yep.
But you do detect it, and so it's almost confirmation. The Doc's in there as you're getting this calibrated, and Doc, you and Harper are seeing the vitals slow a bit, and you have the monitors of this brain slug activity. You're seeing it slow, and Dan, what Orn is seeing is that feedback, that output, slow and reduce. So it's kind of, you have your own confirmation
Got it.
of the effects of what you're doing.
Cool.
And you hear the saw start to go to work on Commander Hefna's skull. Matt, give me the first of several. Do you have any medicine specialties?
Oh, you better fucking believe I do. And it is surgery.
Okay. Give me your first surgery roll.
Oh, so close.
Wow. Harper's doing God's work over here. That's a fucking Argus damage roll if I've ever seen one. It's a 26 from Harper on skull entry.
Quick side question, I apologize. Is Thorn now a first lieutenant?
Yes.
That's a 28 for surgery.
28. Okay. Which, by the way, makes him equal rank of Orn
I know.
and O2. All right.
Oh, Lauren's not a JG? Orn's not a JG?
I'm junior.
Yeah, different ranks though. They use Comforce uses
Oh.
like Army and Marine ranks, like how Cass is a captain.
I understand. I didn't know Comforce had their own. Okay.
Yep. Okay. So you make entry, start to cut into the skull, and immediately the organism starts to respond. That rate starts to rapidly pick up. Dan, give me another comm check.
Not so good. A 1 on the wild die. 12.
Oh.
20
20 with
with
the
a 1
one.
on a wild die.
Okay. You respond and you increase some amplification of certain frequencies, and it almost happens again where you suppress it, but maybe a bit too far. Matt, those vitals start dropping dangerously low. Blood pressure, pulse, respiration start dropping to marginal levels.
Orn, keep it up.
As you wish, Doctor.
You kind of scramble to readjust.
Orn isn't like outwardly showing his stress, but he's sweating.
Okay. You are you on anything?
I mean, there could be some kind of
Traces of.
yeah,
Okay.
some traces in the old system. Let's say you wouldn't want to take a pee test right now.
Would you say you're operating under the influence?
Yikes!
Matt, you look to Harper and give her a nod, and she actually changes the drip, and you see those vitals start to tick back up a little bit. They're still low, but you're worried about increasing medication at this point as you start to remove an entire section of the skull. And You see the rippling pulses of Commander Hethna's brain, and as you cut lower, as Harper cuts lower, and you work some detail tools underneath, removing some more meaty aspects, push him to the side, putting clamps in place. You see for the first time something else inside there, and you see this organism. It's grayish, and it pulses, and you see it kind of throbbing as it's wrapped around the base of the commander's skull. And it kind of, despite how prepared you are and despite how practiced you are, to actually see this with your own eyes is jarring for a moment, to see this organism on your former CO's brain. And you kind of pause for a moment, checking the vitals, checking the responses. And Harper says to you, "Sir, are we attempting to extract the organism? What's the next step?"
It's got a certain beauty to it, doesn't it, Harper?
Such the good guys.
You see her eyes kind of go wide. It occurs to you for a moment that this specimen is completely unknown outside of, from any practical scientific standpoint. And the amount of information you could glean from a living organism, what you could learn, what the potential uses of this thing could be. To try to extract this thing living would add an additional element of difficulty to this.
Lecture halls, your name on banners.
Sideshows. Nuclear circus.
Hospitals named after you.
We'll remove it, Harper. But wouldn't it be nice to have your name as a second on a new discovered species, new paper?
If you think we can manage it, sir, if it's safe.
Good. He'll kind of look up at her. Depends on for who, Harper.
You see her hand reach, and she grabs a pair of forceps, and you see her hand momentarily shake, and you hear over, there's kind of a amplified effect to your voices with these containment suits you're wearing, and you hear her take a deep breath and steady her hand and start to reach in and start to apply pressure. And you take another set and you start to try to move this creature.
Careful.
As you manage the brain. Give me another surgery roll. And Dan.
Yes.
I'm going to have Orrin give me a security roll.
Ooh, I like it.
Think of the sexual fucking this woman's going to have. Just for a minute.
It'll be called,
if you dare,
the Will Bug.
Lose all your character points.
Okay. I'll see myself out. I'm out of here, guys.
God bless him.
22 with a 6 on the wild die.
That's all.
With an
Okay.
28 with a 6 on the wild die. 34 with a 6 on the wild
Jesus
die.
Christ.
The Emperor answers.
And finishing off with a 5, so 39.
Okay.
Wow. So
was
26
aggressive.
on my end.
26 on the surgery. Okay.
Lame.
Yeah, sorry, I'm not. Sorry, it's like I got low rolls over here.
Matt, you see Harper's a bit unsteady. You see her. It's so minute. Anybody watching would think you guys are moving perfectly smoothly, but you see, it's too jerky. She's applying too much pressure and then letting off. And this organism, despite the frequency suppression, it's starting to get more active. It's waking up, and it starts to resist what's happening. And you see the commander's vitals start to fluctuate in a frightening fashion. Orrin, you're looking at your data pad and this device back and forth. You have it, hooked up.
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of managing it from your modified data pad, and then you get a ping on the side. And for a second, you make to
Wipe it. Yeah.
clear it off, and then you see it's a notification from a previously programmed security check you had in place. And you quickly kind of pull it up, and what you find is that there is another program inside Reiko's system that send out a notification when a search was made on crewman Devon Vale, which is the name that was given to you by the Black Jesters of the pseudonym of the infiltrator. And you put two and two together, and you realize probably Cass had made this search, and you're not sure if it just happened sometime over the morning.
Yep.
But whoever put this backdoor, this kind of monitoring in,
Now
has been
knows.
notified
Okay.
that someone's looking for him.
Nero quickly checks the vitals kind of one last time and like turns from the like operating room and brings up his comm, and he's going to page
Hold there.
Cass.
In the CIC, you're
I'm looking over a report from one of the junior officers.
in your little commander's space, the kind of meeting room, wardroom, whatever you call it there. Not wardroom, that's where you eat, right?
Yeah.
The comm link in there rings. You
Just a moment.
answer it.
Argus.
This was a few moments
of
before.
course.
Yep.
Argus here.
Sir, it's Cass. I'm taking a team down. We're going for the infiltrator. Got a name. I didn't notify anyone ahead of there. I know Roy knows we're going to be taking action, but I didn't want any details to go. Devon Vale, maintenance section. We're heading there now.
Very well. Keep
We'll
me
advise.
informed.
Roger that, sir. Out.
It appears our traitor is going to be apprehended momentarily.
Well, that's a relief. One problem down.
Yes, just the one.
Some minutes later, Orn,
I comm Cass directly.
Cass,
Where are you?
can't really talk right now, Orn.
Devon Vale has been alerted that you're coming. Move quickly.
Fuck. How do you know? Doesn't matter. Roger.
Out. I turn back to the operations room.
Okay.
You see a fucking thing monster killing everything.
Like he's got the doctor in like one tentacle
Just fucking
and like
fucking eating him. So dope, dude.
You look back and you suddenly become aware of spiking responses.
I quickly like return to the dials and I start working them, trying to manage his vitals again.
Okay. Give me a communication check minus 1D as you're kind of multitasking here.
Cool.
Matt, in the surgery, things are not going great. Whatever Harper has done, or perhaps in conjunction with what Orn is operating, you don't know, but this thing it's killing the CO right now.
17.
17. Okay.
For those of you at home, Victor Argus is making sad faces, frowny faces that it's not going well.
It's very sad.
It's horrible, bro.
Sorry.
Breathe. Steady, Harper. Just don't poke
Sorry,
the
it's
PM
killing
at her.
him.
It's
Well, folk, I'm losing control of the frequencies. There's not much more I can do.
I understand. I need everyone to breathe. Vilfug's gonna sort of reach over to a panel
you see
and he's gonna hit a
Hefna's-
button. All of a sudden, Vivaldi starts playing to drown out all of the extra noise.
Is it winter?
It is.
Four seasons. Yeah, right?
You, as you talk about breathing, you see the CO's chest rising and falling quickly now. Shallow, quick breaths as his body kind of starts to twitch. He's restrained, but you see his arms just kind of jerking spasmodically, and then he starts to seize fully. His body shaking. You have
Nero,
him
drop it to
well
zero.
restrained,
I immediately turn the dial all the way down.
all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Harper, grab it. And I'm going to go for, I'm going to
Full extra.
fucking try to use the monitors that I have and try to make try to remove this thing as quickly as I can, but not necessarily cleanly. On the
Just cut out
parasite's
the matter
end.
around. Just cut out around it.
That's that's the true symphony right there. That's a beautiful
I
noise.
mean, if
I
you got
like.
to take some spinal cord with you, you got to take some spinal cord with you, you know?
I mean,
All right. Cut from there back to the CIC. Inside your meeting room, you hear a klaxon sound outside. Wah, 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 wah.
Randar gets up,
So
heads
do
over
I.
to the CIC.
And so do I.
Lieutenant Vraylin, who's been
Report.
So we have a major issue in engineering with one of the cores, sir. Something is
Did you say cores?
suddenly the comm kicks on. CIC, this is Roy. I got a core going to overload right now.
What? How?
I don't know, sir. I'm gonna get down to the control room. Give me 30 seconds.
I look over. I go over to the damage control area where this
right.
guy's getting this report, and I'm going to try to look and see if I can understand what this damage is saying.
I head over to station comms and I say to the person standing there, get all civilians out of the area, evacuate.
Yes, copy that, sir. You look down the board, Dean, and you see one of the Avius, the ship that is the core of this station. One of the 4 main power cores is spiking way off scale into the red. Each one of these potentially has enough force to destroy the ship.
Right. How much time do we have here? You! How much time?
Sir, we need a report from engineering. It's they have to lock it down from here. It's shutting out. I can't. None of the defenses are working. The shutdowns.
Shh, Roy, this is Argus.
Yeah, we got a real situation here.
How much time do you need?
I'm getting reports that no one can get in. I think Cass is there. Something's going on, sir. You hear...
One second. I head over. I contact Nero. Nero, this is Randar, CIC.
I don't have time right now.
Neither do I. Our friend is overloading one of the power cores in the Argus, and he's locked everyone out. I need you to unlock them.
Fine. He clicks off. Doctor, I have to go.
Randar, you're promoted.
The station is under attack.
I'm not
this
going to
thing's-
respond. I am 1,000% focused on this right now.
I run out of the kind of the off operations room and start running for that security deck.
comm rings into the CIC.
I pick it up.
This is Cass. We got a situation. He's in one of the core rooms. He's locked it down. I need a cutting team. Something big. There's a magnetic seal. I can't get through.
So, quick aside. He can destroy the ship if he decides from this position.
If this core goes, it's not like a Death Star
I
exploding.
get it.
Everything's
It
gone.
can be ejected.
It could. Can it be ejected?
It would seem reasonable that you'd be able to eject
Sure.
the overloading power core, right?
I would imagine so.
Yeah.
It would not.
But it would suck for us.
It would suck for you
25% of our power is gone.
and whatever crew is in that area, which would include Cass.
Right. Okay.
This is where Victor Argus busts out his red lightsaber to cut through.
Very well.
Roy, you hear Roy's voice say, "Sir, I got it contained, but that core, I'm doing everything I can to reroute, but
Roy,
if I can get in there, I might be able to do something. But right now, we got under 5 minutes, sir."
Roy, you cannot go in there without Marine escorts. There's a man stranded in there. He's a traitor. I want you to monitor this. If it becomes critical, you know what you have to do. Give
Sir.
us time.
Roger, that containment field is up. We already got radiation breaching. Those compartments, wherever Cass is, they're sealed in there.
Very well. Doctor, this is Argus. I require radiation protocol level 1 at your earliest convenience in engineering. I hang up. I don't want to hear what he has to say.
You wouldn't have gotten a response.
All right, Dan, where's Orin going?
I say
He
you.
is racing down to the security, where the security lockdown is.
Okay.
To see if he can directly hack it from whatever its main server is or point of access.
Quick question. The klaxons that sounded, what was the alarm? Just like a fire klaxon?
It was the the engineering core,
Okay.
overload alert.
I say, sound general quarters.
Yes, sir. Whoop whoop whoop! Action stations. Action stations.
I'm going to go downstairs. I leave the CIC. I say you, and I just walk away.
Okay.
I look to Randar, assuming he's coming too.
Yeah. Randar sees you start stepping out. He says, "We should launch the fighters in the corvettes to make sure they're not within a blast radius.
Make it so, Rendar.
All right. I call down to flight control and launch alert fighters.
Okay.
Anything that's in the air.
Everything you can get
Get
out.
everything out of the air.
Get out.
Yep.
Okay.
I would like to add, Josh, that
And
last
then I
time
follow Argus.
we advanced our characters, I put points into running. So
Smart man.
Argus
Yes,
is aware that a surgery is going down. I'm going to go get rad meds and bring them and start heading towards engineering, blaster in hand.
Okay.
I'm really hoping this is like a Marvel comic, like with radiation, I get superpowers.
That'd be sick.
Yeah,
I
that's
start
what I'm-
wall crawling. I suddenly can tell jokes like every Marvel character.
Doc, give me the first of 3 surgery rolls for this final phase.
Goody.
Oh boy,
I
here we
have-
go, Doc.
I have a total difficulty number in mind, and then consequences for bad rolls in between.
And Argus is going to be walking in the midst of this as a heads up.
You're going to...
I'm going to get rad meds.
Okay.
And the guy that's standing guard, I assume, I just say, open the door.
Yes, sir. You go in, and you see through this window. You see this device set up.
I hear Vivaldi.
You hear Vivaldi coming through the
He's
sealed...
from Corellia, isn't he? Vivaldi?
yes.
Sounds like he would be.
Yeah.
And
third cousin.
You see the doctor and Lieutenant Harper bent over the CO. You see his body spasming, strapped down, and you see blood, you see forceps, and you see something wriggling momentarily.
In the corner of Argus's mouth, a slice. He grabs a
I
bunch
love
of
it.
meds. A couple.
Yeah, Randar basically runs in, catching up to you after
I
you
start handing shit to you from the cabinet.
I wonder what's going on there. Do we pull the doctor out?
I shake my head no.
Right.
First roll is a 35.
These are,
35. Nice.
I didn't
I
roll
say to-
below a 4.
I say to Randar, I say, these are usually self-explanatory.
Oh, I've used them before.
Orn, you get down to engineering.
Oh, did he bomb by us? Probably,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
In the hallway?
Yeah, you probably saw him.
Running.
Fucking Johnny, fucking Tom Cruise. He's always running. This fucking guy.
That's right.
And you get there. So each of these cores kind of has, the core itself is enclosed, and then it has kind of a couple compartments around it that the core is operated from. You, for the sake of cinematics, of course, there's a viewing screen through this door.
Of course.
And inside, you see Cass and a couple Marines, and then you see bodies down.
Oh, boy.
You see a couple crewmen, a Marine or two, and droids down. You see blaster marks inside there. No active shooting, but obviously there was a fight. Mm-hmm. And you see Cass, another Marine, trying to operate a plasma cutter of some kind on this security door that goes into the core.
Okay. Do I think there's any way for me to open this remotely?
So this has been sealed by a safety.
Sure.
Manual inside.
Yep. My specialty in computer programming is Rayco mainframe.
Okay.
So I do have a few more points to throw at it. What do I think is my best use of trying to gain access? Do I think it's better to try to somehow walk back the program that's overloading it, or do I think it's better for me to help try to open the doors?
So you're not as confident with engineering of like a
Sure.
drive. So
Yep.
you don't know, is it past the point of no return?
Sure.
So you think you could probably work towards either, but you don't know if shutting that program off would necessarily save anything at this point.
I see. Okay.
Versus getting access
Yep.
is something that would resolve that issue.
Okay. Then that's what I will work towards.
Okay. There's a intercom button there.
I press the button and I say, Cass,
Keep cutting. What is it?
I'm here to help you gain access.
You see his face is a little red,
Yep.
almost like lightly sunburned.
Ship out of danger, Jim.
Help is on the way, Cass.
The needs.
Yeah. If he puts his fucking hands up at the thing, I'm shutting this movie off.
Yeah, right.
As you're there, Roy comes running up to you, and he gets to
He's
the
got
door.
a torch on him.
He's he's with a couple crew, and they have a large cutting device.
I'm assuming we're all outside the door at this point once we grab the meds and reconvened.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Everybody's down there.
Step back. As he breaks out the torch.
Roy goes, we got a bad breach in there. We open this thing up, we're going to contaminate a whole portion of the ship.
Very well.
We can try to get in there. We can try to shut this thing down. We're going to put the ship in danger. And we can punch this core. And we're going to lose everything in there. Everyone.
How much danger are we talking?
Depends how long it takes to shut it down.
Acceptable levels of exposure here? If only the doctor was here to tell us.
We need to get Cass out of there and his
We
men.
do?
Roy, what should I target specifically?
What are we trying to do? Sir?
I look back.
I start closing bulkheads in the hallway.
Okay.
Emergency bulkheads. So we're all down here together.
Okay.
We need to get Cass out and eject the core.
Correct.
Cass goes over the intercom. He says, don't open that door. Orn, get me inside there. We'll deal with it.
Understood. I pull a panel off, an access panel that's right next to the door, and I hook my data pad directly up to it, and I start working.
Very well.
Roy says, even with the help, by the time he gets in there, I don't know anybody's going to make it through that. We open this thing up, well, we're all going to get hit, but we might get in there a little bit faster. You hear Cass yelling, open it up, Orn! Keep that hatch closed!
Continue, Warren. I'm going to calm the doctor.
You hear Cass cough, and as he turns back, you see a little blood at the corner of his mouth.
Perfect.
The comm goes off again, Doctor. First of all, give me your second roll.
Minus a distraction die.
Yeah. So I got a 30. Cost me a character point to get there.
Okay.
Harper, please answer that.
Medbay!
Harper, this is the commander.
Sir, we're really in the middle of something.
I understand, as are we. We're trying not to lose the ship here, you see.
What do you need?
I need you to calm down for just a moment and remember your training. Let me explain to you the level of exposure and radiation we're about to face down here. Can you please give us an indication as to acceptable levels and time frames? Can you do that for me? I explain it to her in terms at what she would understand, so to speak.
300 rad hours. You have two minutes before potential fatal dose?
I see. How many minutes would you recommend?
None.
None. Thank you, Harper. I say, Orn.
90 seconds.
Do I hear that over the comm?
Yeah.
You have 90 seconds.
Okay.
If we cut this door open, Cam, you'd have 90 seconds. Is that possible?
Yeah, it's possible.
Well, I guess we're going to find out, aren't we?
All right. What are your orders?
Cut it open. We have 90 seconds, and I will assist him with
Okay.
my command presence.
And Orn,
Power.
You're working on the
I'd rather not lose, Roy.
Cass.
Cass?
Yes.
Cass.
Not like this.
No, this.
Not like this.
Not like this.
I mean, if he can't kill our characters, he has to kill an NPC. Right?
Yeah, clever putting Harper on the surgery. You control that bitch's rolling.
Oh, wait. Dan?
Yes.
Give
Oh,
me
I have a command skill that's better than
computer programming.
All right. Reiko mainframe.
Raiko mainframe.
Real main brain.
Mainframe.
Dean, give me a command roll.
Yeah, this is for Roy.
Okay.
Because that's the expediency we require is on him, right?
On this side of things.
Right, on this side of things. So command presence. I'm going to put my hand on Roy's shoulder. I'm going to say, Roy, we have 90 seconds. We can do this.
I'm going to use a character point.
Oh yeah, we have those.
I pull out the rad, probably like a stim shot thing,
Okay.
Excellent.
and I
roll.
just go over and administer it to everybody.
Okay.
I got 30 on the nose with 1 character point.
I have 12 on 6 dice.
12
with a
on
1 on
six.
the wild. But I will use character points if I think I can mitigate any of that.
All right. Yes.
Okay.
I would recommend that.
12. Okay. I'm going to use... what can you use? 2 per roll or 3?
For skills, you can use 2.
Two.
I don't.
All right.
You're
We're
using a
gonna
special
use
ability,
2.
right?
No, just command.
Oh, okay.
Well, special ability.
I'm going to tell you, you can burn one to basically wipe out the one.
1.
That'll be what we do.
And then you can use another if you want to increase the roll.
I'll do that.
That makes sense.
Nice.
Nice. 17.
Thank you. I was like, where were we?
Okay.
30 on the nose for my mainframe.
Which
Rago
beats the
mainframe.
difficulty, but only component
Okay.
of that power.
You see Roy and his crewmen just start blasting through this thing, and inside you see these alert lights drop around the door as the magnetic seal goes off, and Cass
I have my weapon in my hand.
and the one of the Marines has slumped over. Cass and the other Marine that are still up, you see that torch finish cutting through, and you see them jump to the sides and start prying apart that inner door as Roy almost finishes cutting through this outer door. Randar, you have that, as you're giving these rad shots, alongside of it has a detector, and as soon as that seal drops, it just goes
It's from zero to Chernobyl.
yes.
I kind of look at it and then just give myself the last shot and throw it on the
Yeah,
floor.
we take all the
and take my blaster pistol out.
Okay. Everybody give me a soak,
once more under the breach.
soak roll.
A soak roll.
Yep. Plus 2 dice for the rad shots.
I'm really good at these.
Me too. Is that stamina?
Strength.
Strength.
In this case, just strength.
Actually, you know what? Yeah, if you have stamina, I'll let you roll
Yes.
that.
How about Will?
Ooh.
I might as well ask.
If your stamina fails, you
Fine.
might be able to do something with a will roll.
Wow. Okay. That's on 4 dice. I got a nice even 20.
You beat me, and I had rolled like 7 dice.
Well, I have 3 dice, and I manage a good roll. 5, 10, 11, 12
How do you only have 3 dice?
20.
of stamina. Did you say plus 2?
Plus
Yeah.
2 for the rad.
Plus 2 for the rad.
So I had 4 dice total.
12, 18, 20.
Okay.
20 as well.
20.
20's across
20's
the
all
board.
around.
All right.
Wow, no matter what the dice pool.
All right. Well, it was you get blasted with 16 points of radiation damage, and you suddenly just feel like hot, and kind of like your mouth starts just watering uncomfortably. A strange sensation all over your skin, like you immediately have like that feeling when you're in the sun after you had a sunburn.
Yeah.
Yay.
And the hatch pops open. You see Cass and the other Marine disappear through this door pried
wish they
open
would
ahead of
leave.
you, and they are inside the core room.
Cass, get your people out.
You hear pew, 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 pew.
Run up to the door.
Yeah. I'm going to try
Blaster
to
in hand.
maneuver around this from a different angle.
Okay, there's only one way in.
Okay.
This hatch that they cut through and they physically pried apart just enough to basically fit through, and it's just a red blinking red light is all that's illuminating it. You see, some blaster shots ringing out.
One of the Marines had already fallen, right?
Yeah.
When I kind of slip through the doors, I go over and I try to pick him up by the kind of armpits and start dragging him towards the door.
Okay. A blaster shot rings out and actually hits the bulkhead above you as you're down. Don't think it was aimed at you,
Sure, right.
maybe, but
Yeah.
you just start pulling him out.
Yep.
You see one of the security droids on the ground kind of twitching. It looks like it was destroyed by blaster fire.
I'll leave it.
Cass,
He's in here!
take you and your man out. That's an order.
Sir, I got him pinned down!
We're on our way. This guy must be fucked. We should just seal his ass in.
Josh, I kind of pull him to the door, and then I'm going to try to peek in through the other door and see what's going on.
Okay. It's hard to see much. You see a body on the ground.
This guy fucked up.
You realize it's a crewman and in bad shape. You see
Radiation burns and stuff.
and a blaster
Okay.
wound.
Those other burns.
You think you see Cass
More direct
through the darkness. There's smoke in here, and right in the center of this, as you get in here, you see the core. It's pulsing almost purple. It should be running blue. And
Roy.
he runs in behind you. He's got his blaster drawn, then he just stuffs it back in his waistband, and he says, "Cover me! I got to get to that core."
I pull my
got him.
gun as he runs by.
I'm moving
I
towards
cover Roy.
Cass.
Okay. You see the Cass. He's around a corner of this core, and you see him shooting. He's holding himself awkwardly. He's hurt, and you see he's actually got one arm kind of bracing the rifle, and the other arm just kind of standing, like, dropped down to his side, and he's just kind of shooting,
Lieutenant,
barely aiming around the side.
Captain?
Yep.
Captain, how many minutes have you been in here?
He's around the side, sir. If you cover me, I can
Out.
get him, sir.
I push him out.
Okay.
Hopefully he doesn't beat me up.
And who else is going in there?
I step through after Roy to give him cover.
Okay. Give me
you.
we're just gonna go kind of in
Yeah,
the
sure.
order you guys choose. What you see in here, the light of the core, the heat that you're feeling, these blinking red klaxons, and you see two separate blaster bolts coming out. As they shoot, you see one
barrels?
from separate spots. You see one as it shoots, it's a security droid. And then the other is the form of a humanoid, kind of hidden behind some cover back behind the core. Who's up first?
I'm going to shoot somebody if I can. Should I roll something?
Yep, which one are you going for?
I'm going for him.
Okay. He's under good cover.
Yeah? Does he know who I am? Has he seen me shoot? It's my best skill, apparently. Because I always roll stupid with it. Blaster.
It's all about close quarters with you, isn't it?
Yeah. Again!
Wow.
10, 15, 16, 17, 18. Not bad. 6 on the wall.
Just misses. Hits the cover. See, like, steam venting off it.
Victor narrows his eyes.
Roy says,
resets his aim.
"Some of these things in here don't react well to blasters."
Classic. Is there a tentacle wrapped around Matt's face, by the way?
We'll get back to him in a second. The
Dragged
droid
into
pivots
purpose.
and shoots at you, Argus. You're behind some cover,
Yeah.
obviously.
Assume so.
Why don't you? You can either try to dodge, or I can let you roll your cover.
How much cover dice?
From the droid, I'm going to give you 2 dice, which will add to the difficulty to hit, which
Is
low.
okay. Or I can dodge at 3 dice. I'll take my chance with the cover.
Okay.
Because 2 dice plus cover is going to be
So-
better than 3 dice, yeah?
Yep. 8 plus your cover roll.
Is the cover include a wild die?
No.
I'm going to use it anyway. It's just a regular rolling dice. 7.
16 to hit.
15. Can I use character?
You may not.
I can use them on this, though.
You can.
Then that's fine.
You can use up to 5 on the soak.
I'm going to need them because I only have a 2 plus 1.
Right. 17.
Aha.
Yep.
2 plus 1. I call upon the dark side. 17 I have to beat. 4. 5. The big moment.
One at a time.
5. 6.
Yeesh.
7.
How many's that?
3.
3?
3 ones.
9.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
I'm going to be wounded no matter what. So my last character die. 10. I'm not joking.
Did you roll 5 ones in a row?
God damn, dude.
Oh my lord.
It's because I have a dark side point now, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'm wounded.
Okay. Argus drops to the ground. He's hit. It looks like it caught him in the upper back. And he drops.
You just got the wind knocked out of me.
5 character points.
Jesus.
For 5 total additional. Oh my god.
Randar.
That's awful.
Victor! I step over him.
I lean up against the cover.
And I aim at the security droid. It seems to be more in the open than that
Yeah.
guy is, right?
Yep. The security
Victor?
guard has no cover. Security droid.
Lights up a cigarette in this moment because that's the cool thing to do.
I'll take a shot at the security droid
Okay.
with a pistol.
Josh, I'm assuming there's no recourse to actually. I have droid programming, droid repair, droid engineering. I don't think there's any way to interface it unless, like, I had it physically in front of me.
Bluetooth, dude.
Yeah, right.
You think if you basically got up into melee range with this thing.
I might be able to punch a few things.
You might be able to
26.
disable it
Okay.
and basically let you use those rolls as like a melee attack
Sure.
almost.
Yep. Like to pull a few
26?
like, key wires from
That
instruments.
Fuck. One on the wild.
Oh, my
God.
goodness. Three ones?
3. So a 7 damage with 1 on the wild die.
Okay. It pink. It it has a little bit of a armor.
Yeah.
Kind of over its breastplate, and the blaster just glances right off
Tink.
of it.
I gotta get me some of that.
Nero, as he kind of assesses the situation, sees Argus go down, he kind of bolts for the droid. And he's going to try to slide up towards Mealy and then reach for like these internal wiring that he knows is kind of underneath the kind of carapace of it.
Kind of
and
awesome.
reach in and just yank them out.
Okay.
So.
Give me a running check.
Yeah.
Coming in
Make
handy.
a character point.
This
for
is
it.
actually going to work both to get to it and as a dodge.
Okay. Cool.
As the infiltrator takes a shot at you.
That's a cool name.
I have
Is that his
13
Christian
so
name?
far.
Oh, it's the guy. No, I thought you meant the name of the droid is the,
Oh.
the infiltrator.
That's what you want as your security guard, right?
Yeah.
12 to hit.
13.
You slide right
Sweet.
under 2 blaster bolts impact above you. It's clear that this individual isn't as much of a trained gunman,
Sure.
but still not a regular crewman for sure. And you get up to the droid. Give me a
Droid repair.
droid repair.
Sweet. Not bad. Not great. 10, 16, 18.
18. Okay. You think you're going to be, you get a hold of it, but it's going to take a moment to finish it.
Okay.
So you're kind of wrapped up with it right now.
Yep. Got it, my hand in its guts, and I'm just pulling, like I'm trying to brace myself on
Yep.
the floor to pull the rest of it out.
Okay.
All right, cool.
Put your feet on its fucking chest.
Okay. Back in the med bay. This chaos. Harper is doing her best, but she is.
Wilting.
Oh, yes. I mean, there's just along with what the CO just said and what's happening in front of her. She's not losing her cool. She's trying, but this is totally on you, really, at this point. She's doing her best to basically just maintain the situation with the CO and the dying CO, potentially, not Argus. Give me that third surgery roll.
Word. So as I'm doing this, I'm talking to Harper. I wish I knew more about classical music so I could fucking say some fancy words about it. But he's waxing philosophically
the
about
crescendo.
what the
Did you know
song
there's no
means as he's doing this.
Did you know there's no crescendo in Baroque music? Isn't that interesting? With all these counterpoint, it's very. There it is. It rises. You're like
Nice.
the guy in Gladiator. It rises and then falls.
So 2 character points got me to a 31.
31.
30s across the board.
30s across the board. Mm-hmm. Anything below a 30 would have had a negative consequence. Your total is a 96.
Damn.
Difficulty was 100 for absolutely everything to go perfect. This is a beyond heroic situation. You can either,
I love this part. I love this
and I don't
part.
want, I'm going to come back to you for your answer.
Harper, get the blowtorch.
Flamethrower, aliens.
Okay. You can do 2 of these 3 things with that roll. The CO can survive. You capture the organism intact. The third is you and Harper are not exposed to this thing. 2 out of 3 of those can happen.
What a generous god.
Back in the power core. Okay.
You should have said Harper's. Really tested.
Dan, you don't have any melee skills, right?
My
He's been training with Argus.
strength is completely blank.
Okay.
It's just just
It's a lot of white space there.
This droid, it has like a blaster built into its arm. It kind of like shoots erratically over you, and you're just too close to it.
Sure.
So it just takes its other arm and just pounds it into you
Great.
and hits you multiple times.
Great.
Give me a soak.
Oh wait, my blast vest gives me +1 die physical.
It does.
Were you wearing your blast vest?
Not at all, but I figured I'd throw it in there, hoping you wouldn't ask.
Yeah. It
So
was,
it's a nice anecdote, folks. Wear your blast vest. Okay.
That's why you always wear your blast.
Lazy's protection.
With my 2 dice, I got a 10.
Okay.
Not bad.
What's 3? Stunned.
Can I use I'll use a character point.
Okay. Yeah, you don't lose your action for being stunned.
14.
Okay.
I kind of wince as it like smashes down on my shoulder, but it's kind of like the meat of my shoulder, so it's not so jarring.
With a final wrench, you shut this thing's power off, and it just and kind of stands in place, motionless.
I kind of skitter off to the side for cover, knowing that I'm probably pretty open.
All right.
I mean, as he does that, I would take shots, but obviously he gets a shot first, I think. Right?
Yeah, he's going to take the infiltrator. He's going to take a shot at you, John.
Okay.
Cover or dodge?
Cover.
Okay.
Dodge. You can add character points.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll dodge then.
Okay. And you get a wild die. Not a great roll.
Pretty good roll. 16, 18.
Okay. 14.
Cool.
Another
Duck up against
steam starts venting off. You hear Roy go, "You're gonna goddamn destroy this thing before I do." He's working hard at this panel, sweat pouring off him from the radiation and the
Argus
exertion.
looks at his chronometer, seeing about the 3-minute countdown.
It's ticking.
eye on
Argus, you kind of shake your head clear. You're on the ground. You're hurt, but you kind of assess yourself and.
Yeah, like when I duck behind the cover, I look down and I grab him by like the scruff of his suit and pull him up.
Okay. Some shots ring out over the top of you, Argus, and you look back and Cass is on the ground, his back against the bulkhead, just holding the rifle in his hand, just shooting. Kind of reminiscent of Captain Miller, the end of Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
Actually, the rifle's dropped at his side, so he's got one hand on a blaster pistol, just over your head. Randar or Argus?
I'll peek back around and take shots at the infiltrator.
Give it a shot.
I could.
Better.
24.
It's a hit.
Cool.
Bum, bum, ba-da, bum, bum, ba-da, bum.
Ba-ba-bum. Ba-ba-bum-bum.
14?
14.
No, that's 15, right?
Math? That's 14.
15. 11, 12, 13, 14, 14. Woof.
Yeah, okay.
You see the
You made me. I was questioning my own sanity right
you
there.
see the figure drop out of sight. Argus.
I move over there and round the corner and shoot.
Okay. Come spinning around the corner.
You're a -1,
Pistol.
right?
You see this.
I'm only an expert with a gun.
You see this man on the ground.
4 dice.
He's burned badly, and then you see it's like his face is almost spasming.
It's like going through the.
So like it's scrunching up and changing and going wider and becoming peaked and like kind of fluctuating right in front of you.
Crazy.
Take a shot.
He's standing right there, point blank.
He's on the ground holding a blaster.
Rebel scum.
Oh, hello. 9, 10, 11, 12, 9, 10. Yeah.
It's a hit.
Cool. Blaster,
9,
pistol.
10,
pistol.
11, 12.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage if it's 4 dice. I don't know.
Yeah.
Damage
Actually, yeah.
is the same. Yeah. Oh, you're sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, the blast pistol.
Okay.
It's 11 damage.
You kind of hit a grazing shot as you didn't realize that they were on the ground.
Okay.
As you take the shot and kind of just wing them. And with a last gasp of desperation, he fires back up at you. Look at that roll.
How wounded is this guy?
Oh my lord.
So he hits.
That's just a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me a soak.
That was a 666.
Right.
Emblematic of our
experiences.
GM's
5.
disposition.
9.
Hold there.
14. That's 2 character points.
2? Okay. 2 will get you
14.
just a stun.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Oops.
You take the shot. Meanwhile, Roy, finally, you hear this as the core starts to, instead of this just single overwhelming hum, it starts to kind of modulate. You see the light start to dip back from purple towards more of a blue, and you almost feel some of the heat lift. But
Ow.
give me one more radiation soak roll. So that's your stamina plus the 2D rad.
Fucking rad, dude.
It's rad,
Fucking
dude.
rad, dude.
Soaking it up.
Ooh, that's a good roll.
Gonna be like that guy from The Expanse. What's his
16.
name? He gets exposed.
16. Is that enough?
Not as good as the first.
21.
25.
21 is the damage.
Okay, so I'm at
So it'd be double stun.
13.
Double wounded.
I guess I lost my turn.
Dan, you would be wounded.
I'm at 17 with 1.
Sure.
I rolled a 6, so I'm at 23 and going.
Burn up these character points.
23.
23. Okay. Randar. Argus ran past you, and you see him stagger back. You know,
As a shot comes up,
Yep.
I run over and like jump over whatever cover was there, stand on top of it, and
Give
lay
it-
into him.
Take the shot.
Take the shot.
He's just laying there.
6 in the wild,
Just
though.
laying there,
Yeah,
man.
you
All
got
right. Roll damage.
Another 6 on the wild die. 6, 17, 21.
The spasming face goes completely still as a blaster strikes right in the middle of it, and
His face.
the face goes limp with a scorch mark right through the center of it, and that blaster falls to the ground. You hear Roy say, "All right, we got it. She's shutting down."
We have to get out of here.
Wow.
Let's go.
Roy made some
might hit-
heroic rolls.
I reach down to the rebel and grab him, and I'm gonna try to like fireman's carry him out here.
Okay. Roy and the crew start trying to get everybody out of here. The Marines that are down, Cass is
Argus holsters his weapon and stumbles out.
incapacitated.
Yep.
Not feeling
And
great.
you start to drag everyone out and try to get back up past that outer bulkhead. Med Bay.
Roy, get your decontamination teams down here right away.
All right, sir. Med Bay.
All eyes
Yeah.
on Matt.
What do you choose?
As a reminder, what are his choices?
The 3 choices, 2 of these things you accomplish with your incredible
Did you have two?
surgical efforts. You can capture the specimen living and intact. You can prevent the offspring from contaminating you and the good Lieutenant Harper. And or you can save Commander Hefna's life.
I mean,
think.
I feel like one of the choices is very obvious. I take the creature alive.
I love it.
It's the second one that gets
You're
a
trying to-
little bit more difficult. You know, I think
I don't know what he's going to say here.
Yeah.
it is unfortunate that I wasn't able to save the commander. Perhaps
My
I hadn't used Nero's experimental tech with the surgery. It could have gone better. I do hold myself full responsibility for the loss of the commander.
Matt, take a dark side point.
Fuck
Nice.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
I don't entirely know what that means, but I like it.
Executive Officer Wolflick starting to sound nice.
Oh, boy.
Okay. we'll cut to, maybe an hour has gone by, couple hours. All of you are in a extended hasty med bay. Med bay is now what you probably did, Wolfug, is instead of using the med bay itself, you set up sort of a triage area where you're treating all the radiation plus anyone that was wounded on top of the radiation. Try to keep it all contained. You have rad suits as best as you can. 4 crewmen are dead. The infiltrator is dead. 3 security droids are destroyed. 2 Marines are dead.
Damn.
And Cass is in critical condition.
Well, it's a good thing I'm warmed up for surgery.
Try not to lose 2 patients today, Doctor.
Well, one of his patients survived.
Yeah.
It's a boy.
The will bug.
Oh boy. And Roy's teams are working to decontaminate the radiation. There's still a large portion of engineering that's closed off, but there's some filtering that's running through, and you're doing manual decon on all these patients. It's questionable whether Cass and one of the other Marines that survived, if it's potentially a fatal dose. They both were wounded beyond that. You've dealt with those injuries, but there is large scale radiation exposure to deal with. Without a back to tank, it's a question of whether or not either of them will pull through. If they were not as fucking sturdy as they are, they wouldn't have made it this far. But they are absolutely critical.
Who's they? I'm sorry, I missed that.
Cass and Corporal Dane.
Question, Josh. I don't know if I'd know this, but would the Dark Star have a back to tank on it?
Absolutely.
Cool.
It is not currently in the system.
Mm-hmm.
But Commander Zilla did say they would be close.
Mm-hmm.
Say you guys are all kind of in the you've left the warm zone and stepped out into the full decontamination area. Argus, you are bandaged from your blaster wound, but ultimately you'll recover just fine. A couple more med pack treatments and you'll be as good as new. I don't think anybody else had
managed to fend it off.
Nah, Randar's fine.
So, and especially with that rad medication was critical. Great thinking.
Critical
on that part, guys. I thought I was going to get all you guys fucked up.
That would 100% have wrecked me. There's
Commander
no way
Argus.
I could make those rolls.
No big deal.
Yeah.
Command decision,
Command decisions, no big deal.
What are the 4 of you sitting at for character points right now?
0.
Dear
Niner.
Lord, Dean.
9.
7.
I didn't use a single one for that.
I got 7.
7. Single digits. What I like to see. The 4 of you
How
are...
many force points do I get for
Nobody's used the force point.
rescuing
No, Dean
the-
used one.
Dean used one.
Oh, you did.
Murder
I got that back.
that guy on the hill.
To save you. I just saved a bunch of people with my quick thinking, too,
Yeah.
for the record.
Yeah.
So, Doc, you just finished giving that medical kind of rundown. Instead of having you spew that back out, you just kind of updated your compatriots here as to the situation. And
At your earliest convenience, can I get the Marines' names who died?
yes, not the crewmen.
Oh, yeah, crewmen you said, too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
2 Marines, 4 crew.
Oh, 4 crew. Okay.
And Matt, I'll let you inform them about Commander Hethna, if you will.
We're all hanging out in Medbay?
I changed the calendar back. It's been X amount of days since there's been an accident.
It was only at 4, I think.
Right.
Yeah, and every fucking one of those is off-screen horse shit. It's never actually in-game shit.
I had a bit of a dalliance there,
Oh, yeah?
running around shooting at shit.
Yeah, I recall.
So as Vilfug is sort of patching up some of Argus's more grievous injuries.
Am I sitting on the thing like a patient?
Yeah.
My shirt off.
There's a
Sexual.
lollipop sitting on a tray, just out of arm's reach.
Why is it
if
poking
you're
through
a
your
good boy.
You always keep lollipops down there. Sorry. This is not
Well.
for children.
It looks like you all could have fared much better.
Yes, I was foolish.
Is Cass going to make it?
Not sure yet. We've got to prep him. It's going to be touch and go for a while. Without a back to tank, I'm not sure what the losses will be at the end of this after radiation poisoning. But as for now, I've 4 civilians or 4 crew members and 2 Marines. Well, we
I
can
see.
add the name of one to that. I do take full responsibility, and
Victor's eyes narrow.
Commander Hethna did not make it through the surgery, unfortunately.
What? Randar kind of stands up. What happened? He folds his arms.
What about the parasite?
Extracted.
Contained, I hope, Doctor.
Of course. Be sending it off for studies shortly, but unfortunately, I made the decision to use an experiment that I had worked with somebody to assist. Yes.
I'm sure you did your best. No reason to get into the details now.
Certainly, sir. Needless to say, no one was exposed, and
Good.
the parasite was removed.
How was Harper?
You, without really thinking, just dealing with the emergency, you had come down here, and about a half an hour ago, you saw Harper sitting on the side, and just, like one of those black and white photos from World War I of the guys with that
1,000 yards.
1,000
there.
yard stare. She was toast, and you gave her some sedatives and sent her away. She was in bad shape, not physically, but mentally.
She did not do well, sir. It was rough in there.
Well, keep me posted as to her progress. I'm sure you will do what's needed.
As you say that, Doc, you hear again in your mind what she said. It was my fault. I know it was my fault. I'm sorry.
She'll make it through.
Good. We need her.
4 crew, 2 Marines, maybe Cass and the CO. These rebel scum. He takes like a tray, just throws it across the med bay.
Argus smiles.
Well,
Ethno was a good officer.
he was.
He'll be missed.
Josh, where did you send me the information about the bounties?
Sorry, what?
Email.
It was email? It didn't come up. Sorry.
If anything can come out of this, at least now we know what... Oh, shit, what was her name? We know what Stella LeVar used, and with our Kaleri friends, perhaps we can prevent this from ever happening again.
Indeed. One of the first things we're going to do is implement some new security around her with the help of Orn. Happens to be his specialty.
Do you know how to prevent that thing? If it gets one of us?
Not yet, but I can detect it now, and now that I know how to take it out, it should be easier in a larval state. It lives in the subdural space prior to hatching.
Yes. Well, make sure that Commander's sacrifice wasn't in vain, Wolfug.
I won't, sir.
Your little pet project.
I watch.
If there's anything else I'd like to tend to cast, sir.
Wolfog, you're doing an excellent job.
If the numbers don't rise, I'll know I've done a good job, sir. Let's hope I can keep it at 7.
Keep the beast contained, please.
Yes, sir.
Roy comes over. He looks like shit. He got pretty, badly radiation burned. He let you decon him, but he hasn't let the doctor treat him at all. He got back out there and dealt with running the decon teams through. He comes back over. You see his skin a bit blistered. He's both pale and kind of burned at the same time. You see his skin is just kind of drawn, and his, got some kind of darkness under his eyes. And he says, "Sir, gentlemen, we're ship station. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna have to take that core offline and do some maintenance." But he nods into the radiation treatment room. He says, "They saved us. Get in there like they did."
Indeed. Maybe you can take some R&R and Sean can take over. You need to be treated. I point to his face.
Yeah, it's not bad. Yeah, John will be fine for a bit.
You understand advanced radiation sickness, don't you, Roy?
Yeah. I'm feeling like I'm running out of steam a bit too.
Now's the time.
Well,
I'll save you the trouble of ordering you.
very well. I know you said you wanted to get the staff together, talk about something, sir, but maybe we can shelve that for the day.
Of course.
Not that I'd use this as an excuse to miss a staff meeting.
Nero's, he's sitting kind of probably at one of the beds a little further into the med bay. He looks up from his data pad and just watches Roy and kind of reminisces about the time that Roy berated him for looking into engineering. And just, he doesn't say anything, but that's what's kind of running through his mind as he watches Roy leave.
You don't see Roy look crestfallen.
Sure.
Probably ever,
Right.
but he does now. He's the guy who's going to take this personally.
His crew, was it engineering men that died?
Yep.
So he lost 4.
Yep.
Nero, we need to make sure that this rebel scum isn't the only one left on this station. We need to make sure it's wiped clean. Any traps he's set up in the system, anything needs to be scrubbed.
Once I have access to his quarters, perhaps there will be breadcrumbs.
Good.
But he is an expert. Was. Nero kind of stands at that.
As are we.
He gives kind of a slight nod. What's next?
You can start planning the funerals, but we'll get to that next week. Thank you guys for listening to another episode of Nastagram. We hope you're enjoying Empire's End. You know the deal. We're going to ask you to spread the word, tell a friend, post about it online, do whatever you can, ratings, review, everything helps. And get involved. Got a great community over at Facebook at the Nastagram RPG Lounge, or just pop over onto the website, nastagrampod.com, links to all our socials, and bonus content and more coming soon. Our intro music, as always, is by a Wilhelm Scream. Scores this arc are from both Adrian von Ziegler and Antti Marttikainen. We'll be back with another episode next week. Why don't you bring a friend?
That's nasty.